Hey there, 4th grade. Time for finding a fraction of a number or a set. Strategy number 2, number line. So you can find yesterday's page. Remember, I think many of you probably just made a title that didn't include the strategy, like made a title here and then did strategy number 1 yesterday. We'll do the same question today for your redo. If you want to just do strat number 2 underneath it. Or you can make a new page. I don't care either way. So go ahead and do that. And when you're ready, close your notebook and give me your full concentration for I do. Here was our I do yesterday. Let me just quickly remind you how I did that. PTA is buying soda to sell at a school event. They're buying 24 and 3/4 of them will be regular Coke. 1/6 will be Sprite. How many Cokes and how many Sprites will they buy? And so I was looking for 3/4 of 24 for the Coke and 1/6 of 24 for the Sprite. And the way I did that was I made my set, or kind of my group. And I said, all right, this is going to be 24 sodas. And since this was fourths, I took that unit fraction of 1/4 and I divided this into fourths. And then I put my 24 sodas in these groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And I said, okay, so there's my 24 sodas. They're in fourths, a fourth of the group, a fourth of the group, a fourth of the group, a fourth of the group. And said, I know that 3/4 of them will be Coke. And that was 18 Cokes. And then I did the same thing for the Sprite. I made my group of 24 sodas. This time, since the question asked about sixths, I did sixths instead of fourths. This is sloppy, but it'll work. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Went ahead and put my 24 sodas in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And now 1 of the sixths was Sprite. That is that many. And that was 4 Sprites. And that's how we did it yesterday. So let's look at the same question, but let me give you a new strategy today. Let's talk about how to do this with a number line. And I can hear some of you rolling your eyes. I know some of you are not in love with number lines necessarily. Oh well. You know, I love for you to know how to do them. Even if you don't choose them, I like for you to know how they work. So Coke is going to be 3/4 of the 24. I'm going to pause real quick just so you don't have to be bored and watch me make a number line up to 24. So it's going to appear in just a second. And there it is. There's my 24 sodas. So I went to 24 because 24 was in the question. And so now what I've got to do, I have a mark for each soda if you want to think about it. And I just have to figure, I'm just going to divide my number line into 4 groups because I'm doing 4. So I have to figure out where to divide it, where I'll have the same number in each group. So remember, 0 doesn't count. I don't want to use that one. And so I'm going to be a math person myself. I think, all right, I'm going to divide it into 4 groups, and there are 24. So I know I'm going to need groups of 6 if I'm doing fourths. Because I'm going to split it into 4 parts, and there's 24. So I'm thinking that in my head. You can try it and do some trial and error. So I'm going to need like the first 6 in one group. There's 1/4 of them. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another 4th. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another 4th. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or another 4th. You know, if I didn't count those just right, you know, I can go back and make sure I have 6 in each group. But I'm just going to kind of take my number line and divide it into 6 kind of sections so that I know where I've got them. So there's 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. And since 3/4 of the 24 are Cokes, I can kind of say, all right, well, then I'm going to need from there to there, these 3 groups. 3/4 are Cokes, and that is up to the 18th soda. So it's going to be 18 Cokes in there. All right. And what about Sprites? Let me pause for you. Let me undo this back to 24 and do it with the Sprites. And ta-da, back to here. So now, when I go back and work on my Sprites, I know that 1/6 of the 24 are Sprites. So I still need to go 24, still 24 sodas, but now I'm not dividing it into 4 groups. I'm dividing it into 6 groups because that's what's in the question. So I got to divide these 24 numbers into sixths. You can just try and get the same number in each group. I can, you know, if I know enough math from division that I know if I'm going to have 24 groups, or 24 sodas, and I need them in 6 equal groups for the sixths, that's going to be 4 in each group. So I'm going to do, remember 0 doesn't count. It's not one of my sodas. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 6th. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 6th. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 6th. And one last color. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 6th. So now each of those groups I have made has 1/6 of the sodas, and I need just 1/6 in this problem. So 1/6 are Sprite, and that is 4 Sprites. So 1/6 are Sprite, or 4 of the 24 are Sprites. That's how it works with the number line. Okay, so pick up your pencil, open your math notebook. Let's check out the we do. Here is the we do from yesterday. Mr. Perry has 20 children in his 4th grade class. 2/5 have brown eyes. How many have brown eyes? And we made his 20 class set, divided it into fifths, and that's how we did it yesterday. I'm going to clear that out because that's not how we're going to do it today. I'm going to pause, and you should too. So since Mr. Perry has 20 children and we're looking for 2/5 of 20, you and I are both going to need a number line that goes up to 20. So I'm going to pause and make mine. You should probably pause and make yours. All right, there is my 20 students. You may want to make a note to yourself. You went up to 20 because you have 20 students. 20 students. That's why I picked 20 on my number line. And so I'm looking for fifths. I've got to divide my class into fifths of 20. So that means I need to divide it into 5 different groups. And if I have to divide 20 into 5 different groups, I'm going to need 4 in each group. I can do that math in my head. So don't count 0 again. You know, 0 is not one of the students. There's no student number 0. So 1/5, this is first 4 kids are going to be 1/5 of the class. The next 4 kids are 1/5 of the class. Next 4 kids are 1/5 of the class. Next 4 kids, 1, 2, 3, 4, are 1/5 of the class, and the last 4 kids are the last 5th of the class. It didn't change. So now I've got 5 fifths. Remember, if I'm going into fifths, there should be 5 groups. They should all have the same number in each group. And if I'm looking now for 2/5 of the 20, I need to combine 2 of my sets there. So 2/5 have brown eyes, and that is 8 students, just like yesterday. All right. So that's how you do the same thing we did yesterday, but with a different strategy. I like this strategy a lot. I like number lines. I think they help you visualize and understand things real well. If you understood this way better yesterday, you are always, of course, welcome to use yesterday's strategy. I give you more than one strategy, not because you have to be an expert on every one, but because I want you to have lots in case one doesn't work out, or you forget how one works, or you want to double check your work a second way. I like for you to have different ways to see it and think about it and understand it. So that's a second way you can do it. We'll talk about a third way tomorrow. If you want to go back and watch either the I Do or the We Do again so that you understand this a little better, please do, and I will see you tomorrow.